punks are misunderstood. Most people, when they think of punks, they think of violent freaks rolling around in glass, beating each other up. When I think about punk, I think of the power, I think of the energy, I think of the possibilities for change. That's what punk's all about, change. It's about music by kids, for kids, reflecting the frustrations and the problems that kids face every day. The music most of us grew up with in the 70s was music by older people, singing about partying and cruising, things that we just couldn't relate to. That's not what we were feeling in our lives. And the media, they've always exploited the scene. They've always sensationalized the negative aspects, the violence. They never talk about the positive things. So that's why we started the Better Youth organization, because we felt that there was positive things and that they needed to be heard, and we were sick and tired of having this negative image. We want to put out a positive image. So this summer, we're going to go on tour across the country, and we're going to go and we're going to see the kids all over. We want to tell them that they can do these sort of things. They got to do it on their own, because no one's going to help them. You got to be an individual. You got to get off your ass. You got to be heard. If you got ideas, you got to say them. You got to let yourself be heard. Well, the Youth Brigade's a band with myself and my two brothers. Now, the Better Youth organization is something completely distinct and apart from that. It is an organization that puts out records, puts on shows, and generally supports the scene and tries to help things go along in a positive manner. And last year we did a show, probably the biggest show in punk show in LA history. There's almost 3,000 kids there, and with the little bit of money we made off that, we bought a bus. And now we're going to try and do our biggest project. We're going to take the bus, we're going to go out on tour around the country, and we're going to take a band called Distortion, who we really like, and we think we'll get along well with.
Social Distortion's been together about 3 years, and this will be our first tour. First thing we've done on our own.
As far as I know, we're going on this tour, and it's mapped out, I guess, but I don't really know the details, if we're going to be sleeping in the bus, or we got motels to stay at, or what.
Well, the main fear is the mental stress that's going to be happening on this tour, man. There's going to be so many head games in that bus and so many people fighting over the last brew.
Well, the BYO, basically what they've guaranteed Social Distortion. During that time that we travel, we will get $10 a day for living expenses, which is really cheap, but this is like the first thing for them, it's the first thing for us, and we're all just doing it for the fun of it. We're all just going to have fun.
About 31 cities, about 31 cities, plus we got 6 nights in Calgary, so we're talking like between 30 and 35 shows. So it'll be
35 days or something?
Well, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, be a little over 5 weeks. We'll be back at the end of September. The purpose of this tour is not for us to go out and become big rock stars and make a lot of money, because we know that's not going to happen. We're just hoping to break even. We're not some big act who's got a record company behind us doing everything for us. We're doing this all on our own, independently. And we're trying to prove to people that punks aren't a bunch of mindless morons who go around beating each other up, slashing each other like they say. That they can do things on their own, they can do things independently, because they believe in it and they're really sincere about it. Now, whether the tour is going to work or not, we're just going to have to wait and see.
My name is Marlon Whitfield. I'm 20 years old, and I'm part of the road crew.
Louis, 21. I'm doing everything, driving, working on the bus.
Dennis, 16, I play guitar.
Okay, my name is Adam. I'm from the Youth Brigade. I'm 17.
Brinson Michael Kitteridge, 19, road crew, learning a new profession.
My name's Derek O'Brien. I'm 19 years old. I come from Orange County, California, and I play drama.
Dennis, I'm 38.
I'm Brian, I'm 19, I play bass with Social Distortion.
I'm Mark Stern. I'm 21 years old. I play drums in the Youth Brigade.
Michael, I started Social Distortion about summer of '78.
I'm Dennis, I play guitar in Social Distortion. I'm old.
Well, people call me Monk. My name is really Mark. I'm supposed to be make sure everything is coordinated and goes well with the van or the bus.
We're going to all the big cities like New York and Washington and that, but we're also doing a lot of smaller places like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle. And then up in Canada, we're doing Calgary and Edmonton and Saskatoon and Winnipeg, which are places that bands haven't ever really played before. So I think the bus should hold out. It's only got 90,000 miles on it. Well, we got Monk, and he's a mechanic. He's pretty good. He's been doing a lot of work on the bus, so I guess we shouldn't, if we run into any problems, I think we should be able to handle it, so long as we have enough money to fix things and nothing really major happens. I think we'll make everything.
This is all the supplies right here. Is that everything? Yeah. All right, get Sean. Let's get out of here. Well, I love the sound when I smash a glass. I get comfortable and kick my ass. Mommy is worried about the way I drink. Daddy can't figure out the way I think. Wake me up and tell him go to work. I started those that shit I feel dirt. I can't wait till the show tonight. When I'm with my friends, everything's alright.
I do this every day. It's just not only just for shows, but just before you go outside into the world. It's just my look. A lot of people laugh, but to me there's nothing funny about it. To me, it's very fashionable. And it's a look that I've wanted for a long time. Most guys don't know how to wear makeup anyways. Guys naturally think you're gay because you have eyeliner, mascara, maybe a little nail polish on. I just kind of like that sympathetic look when I'm on stage. It just looks more natural too. But it kind of it looks as though you've been crying or something. It kind of makes you have a sympathetic view towards you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward tonight because this will be our first gig of the tour, and this will be an assembly of what it's going to be like.
Whatever they fucking think, or whatever they call it, they put it on for the sake of that, and not to make green. Anytime Steve Pritchard or any of these other assholes put on a show, they do it for the green. They do it to make money. And that's bullshit. The bands deserve the money. but half of it is the band's fault. The Cramps come through here and they play a bar, 21 and over. They ultimately eliminate 3/4 of their audience by playing a bar. What the hell are they gonna play a bar for? Who can go see them? Their fans can't fucking go see them. It's bullshit. The bands have got to accept responsibility. That's the good thing about this show, is the bands are out here, they're playing an underage show for nothing, man. $3 a head, it's nothing.
The last time we played here, we got $250, and this time we got $40.
God, we did a really good show. Everybody loved it.
Get this out the front, please.
It was a lot of fun. I think it was a total success, except for the fact that the son of a bitch ripped us off.
They ripped us off at first, then we had to hassle him for more money just so we could pay the PDs. This is what he gave us. Rolls of pennies. Fucking cheap old fart.
The way we feel to you are not so real. We just pass and pass. But my love that you don't have, they just all the life. Turn it over and over again. So you don't need to realize how much you better lies. First on, everything to do. Turn on, we're done through. That's on, we decide to get in the India.
Get one. Purple seems like a big part of this. I mean, if I was a normal person working 9 to 5, I'd get kind of pissed off if I saw someone with blue hair. I mean, because you got to figure that person, you know, leaves a pretty free and carefree life. Because, you know, you can't go to work with blue hair. It just doesn't work that way. So they get kind of pissed off because I can go and do what I damn well please, and they have to go to work every day. Which is, I think it's a big part of why everyone dislikes punks so much. Because punks pretty much do as they please, you know.
You define yourself in society to a large degree by how you look. And if I wore topsiders and polo shirts and something like that, I would define myself as the nice middle-class kid who's ready to take up where my parents left off. And the fact is that I don't look like that means that I'm not willing to do that, and my look is a direct reflection of my attitude. I can no more change my look than I could change my attitude. I would feel unclean virtually going around looking like a prep.
The reason why I look the way I do is because I don't like the quote-unquote Brooke Shields look. I don't like the everyday all-American girl. Okay, because I'm not.
Well, when I was little, you know, most people, like, they grow up and when they're little, they say, when I grow up I want to be a doctor or whatever. I always wanted to be a clown, so that might have something to do with the way I look so strange.
If I dress normal, you know, like preppy or whatever, I could be walking down the street and I could still get pulled over for just being black in like the wrong neighborhood, which has happened to me before. And being a punk makes, like, you know, I've been places like walking around like with blue hair or something, and I had some guy say to me, like, isn't it bad enough you're black that, you know, you have to go have blue hair? And he was going to duke me, so it doesn't make a difference, like, really what I did, because if I was, you know, just black and normal, I'd still get fucked with, so I might as well do what I want to do and just take my chances.
It's a part of being a black person in this country to be fucked with, and it's a part of being a punk too to get fucked with. People dislike you. So just deal with it, because that's what I like to do. The tour's going really well right now. We're all having a really good time, and we're just about to go into Canada. We're all pretty curious to see what it seems like there. It's really neat how there's this like underground network of punks in every major city you go to. Each scene is like a little community unto itself. That dance different things. There's different bands that put out their own things and to try to put on shows themselves, and it's like really neat. And now we're about to go into Canada, and we're really curious to see what the scene's like there.
Come on in, have some chili. Welcome to Calgary Manor.
Yeah.
Grab a bowl. No. Grab a bowl. Have some chili. Pull it. Have some chili before you fill.
One big happy family.
Extra old stock, high test, Canadian beer all the way. 6.5% alcohol. chili into your drinks. Otherwise, you're gonna be really hating.
One for the manor.
Canada.
This is the best place we've hit so far. Like,
Hey, give me a beer.
Even though the bikers are pretty scary,
Where's the freezer? Oh
we'll
my.
just like stay here till we play.
Kids around here are great. I mean, this house is great. They're made us dinner, skateboard ramp outside. It's really cool out here.
Like all the comforts of home.
Yeah, it's like the best city we've been to
As far
so
as the
far.
punks go, yeah.
As far as the kids, yeah.
The Manor from Calgary. Most of the punks come party here. It's where everybody hangs out, have good times, bands play. Like Calgary's probably just started a couple of years ago with the punk scene, and everybody's basically still fighting for it, keep a hold of it, I guess.
Why is it so tough here?
Just because there's too many rednecks and cowboys. People are too narrow-minded, I guess, to listen to other music.
They just look at you and call you names and shit, want to fight you. So you got to do it once in a while.
Like, now you don't get that many comments on the street anymore. I guess
It's
people
not too
are starting to accept us.
You still get people walking by. I've had people walking by and, pointing fingers at me like they're gonna shoot me and, stuff like that. Like, blow the punks away. We all kind of look out for each other.
That's the one in New York?
Pretty well, yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you live here or not, you just I think it's a pretty small colony of punks in Calgary.
It's the hottest.
Let me get in front. We're a close bunch of people.
Don't fuck with the fun bus.
Fun bus.
The fun bus is here to have fun. You fuck with our brains and we fuck with your body.
You fuck with everyone's body. I walked outside and there was this blonde chick standing there, and I just started rapping to her. Next thing I know, she was in the club, then she was upstairs, and then I was at her house, and I looked at, she was like laying in bed, and I saw all these fucking little trippy marks, and I go, fuck, what's that? And she goes, oh, I got stabbed 87 times by some black guy in New York. I was going, are you sure? And finally I believed her. I was drunk and I had fun. One good thing about it though, Monk doesn't have to worry about getting shit for having sex with the ugly girls. She still wasn't no Mohawk mania chick, but she wasn't so happening.
So what did you guys think of the girl?
No way.
Why do I go up the fire escape? Because you don't go in the front of the bar. There's fucking these big burly guys up there that try and kick your ass if you walk through there. They say you're a fucking punk rocker and we're gonna kick your ass. So we got first, second, and third stories right off the fire escape. So we just go down the fire escape. The punks use the back door, so we just go into the back door, play. That way we never have to go in the front of the bar. At least we know we've accomplished something. If we bum their lives, at least we know we're opening their minds up a little bit. That there's just not this stupid little biker world that they live in. There's other things going on around them.
I think I've got a new song.
like some type of chorus that steps up, like. That's about as far as I got.
Any lyric ideas so far?
No, I like to write. I don't know. I'm thinking about a lot of things on the tour. You know, I've got a lot of inspirations for writing some of these songs. I thought of one title, something called Another State of Mind. In another state, in another state of mind. That was kind of witty. I'm playing a band, I'm traveling, and making money. I'm making enough money to live. So, that's what I'm doing, I'm living. And I'm living my lifestyle, yeah.
Give me your average day.
Average day? Sleep in. Depends on what time I wake up. Watch Twilight Zone or something. Eat. I watch General Hospital in Rockford. And then you see, I used to watch. Then I'd watch like Mary Tyler Moore and Bob Newhart. I'd eat again. And then I'd watch SWAT and then Kung Fu, then go out. Drink with my friends, go to a show or something. Nightlife.
Dropped out of school and minds and a bunch of broke all the road. Out to ground, drinking with the boys. He loves around and makes some noise. Doesn't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, fat and red. 20 years old and he quit his job. Unemployment buys his beer. His brothers and sisters have tasted sweet success. Mountain as lies on that. Monster, he's not afraid to admit. Mom is the old monster, we're coming out back. Mine's the one to shoot, spend a drink. Mine's the one to have sex at 15. Then, for the street, she couldn't deal with all. She has fun with the boys in the band. In her eyes, it'll never end. That's what happened to her face. It couldn't happen at an end. Her eyes are a deeper blue. She likes her hair that color too. She could even wear it. After the nation will come. She likes to have that color too. She can even well dressed. Doctor the Michelle. She's promised no monster. Promised no monster. Wake her up.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people think that the punks are out to like ruin the family structure and the family system or whatever. There's no family system to destroy because it was already broken down. It's been falling apart for about the last 20 years. The sitting down at dinner and talking about things and going to church on Sunday and playing ball in the park with the kids and everything like that. That stuff's not happening anymore. We're just living in too fast of a society. It's like a lot of people don't have time to do that. They're so preoccupied with other things.
For a while, my mom used to throw me out of the house every 2 months. She'd tear down all my flyers off the walls and throw my posters away and stuff. And all the pictures of my friends, I used to have them on a bulletin board, and she'd just tear it all down and rip them up. So now I just don't like flaunt it in her face. You know, it's like she accepts it. She doesn't like it.
Well, my parents just think I'm weird. And well, my dad likes my hair.
My ultimate goal in life isn't to be the nice capitalist tool, which, you know, I'll get paid good money and get a nice suburban home and have 2.2 kids and have 2 cars and a nice dog and everything like that. That's not my ideal. I'm not willing to sacrifice my life to do that. And the fact that I won't is really, I think, threatening to a lot of parents. It's threatening. I'm sure it's threatening to my parents in a way. My parents actually are more open-minded than some, so I can say that to a degree to them, and they don't absolutely freak out, but they still have a hard time recognizing it. And the fact is, to an increasing number of kids, punks and non-punks, the all-American dream is not a viable solution.
Ah ouais, Marcel. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tell me about, is this Marcel?
Yeah.
Tell me about Marcel.
Me? Okay, 2 years ago, I used to see him at the club, and I used to think he was really cute, you know. And he was walking, he was all nice, and once he got hit by a car, and then since then he almost died, and he went into coma and all this, and then all his friends came to see him, and when his friend came to see him, he started to talk, and then he started to talk, and then he started to move, and soon he's gonna walk. Because, like, he's got willpower. He wants to walk again. He almost died, he was in coma, he couldn't even speak, and now look at him. He can move his hand, he can talk, he can go nuts and all this. He can even have a hard arm.
Is that true, Marcel?
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. I used to go and beg and snatch purses and beat up faggots with some friends of mine to get some money to go eat or get stoned, you know. And I like it better. I wouldn't like to be rich because I'm happy on the street. Because on the street I am myself. When I wanted a place to stay, I go in a club where stupid cunts go there, and I go see a homeless people, like go see for homeless people, and then I say to them, oh, I have no money, nothing to eat and stuff like this. And then they feel sorry for me, and then they make me eat. And then after a week, they make me eat, and they give me a place to stay, and then they want to screw, and then I tell them to fuck off, and then I go for somebody else. Always like this, always find my way.
I am scared of people because people are scared of me because they think I'm gonna beat them up. I'm not gonna beat them up.
What do your parents think of all this?
Oh my, they just don't like me anymore. Because I used to be another person years ago. I used to be the nicest person you ever met. I used to be good at school and all that stupid stuff, but I found out by myself that it was not right for me, that even if I was good enough for school and all this, I didn't have to go and show up good notes and all this.
What made you change?
It's just that I was tired of doing what people wanted me to do. I just wanted to do something I could figure out myself.
I do not want to harm nobody. I want them to live in peace and to make me live in peace. I am gonna die in about in 2 years. So I want everybody to come and see me at the funeral.
You're gonna die in 2 years?
2 years.
Why?
Because life is not amusement for me. I do not like to live in this kind of life.
Well, this is kind of like the worst it's been getting on the tour. I mean, the last couple of days we've been breaking down, and it's like starting to get really bad in Montreal. I mean, the weather's pretty bad. We've been running out of money. The bus has been breaking down. We've been having to spend money fixing up the bus, and things are getting kind of fucked. Everyone's starting to complain and grumble about not getting enough money. We haven't been getting paid at all the gigs. Like tonight, didn't get paid all our money. And then, I don't know, it seems like things are just kind of starting to fall apart. And then to top it all off, we go to these guys who put the show on. We said we were hungry, we wanted to go get something to eat, so they take us to this taxi joint that says open. It's like 3 in the morning, we go in there. And this lady, this French lady, this old ugly lady, wouldn't serve us. She wouldn't even speak to us in English. And we knew she could speak English. We knew she understood what we were saying. And then she calls the cops on us, and the cops come and kick us out. We didn't do anything. All we wanted to do was buy some food. They wouldn't even let us eat. It was totally ridiculous.
That hooker just ran off.
Ça c'est Canal 12. I don't understand.
Why don't they check you out? They probably don't believe you're from away.
So we all leaving?
Yeah. Well, do we have a choice?
No.
Get her. She looks sleepy.
Smile on the camera. The whole world is gonna see this.
She's just crazy. I guess she's afraid of us. She thinks we're coming there to fuck with her or something. That's just the way people. It's a normal reaction to a lot of straight people who've never seen punks before. They just think you're there to fuck with them or to intimidate them or something, you know. And a bunch of kids come in, they're kind of noisy and stuff. Maybe she gets scared, but all we wanted was to eat something. She wouldn't even give us a cup of coffee or anything like that. It was totally ridiculous.
Come on, boys.
Whoa! I've got knives on my house.
Lady's a witch.
The money situation is starting to get pretty down, and people are starting to get on each other's nerves. Because money makes a big difference, I guess, which is a pretty sick thing to think about, but unfortunately it's true. When you're hungry and you don't have any money, the best things don't look as great as they did before.
What about unity?
What about unity? If you're hungry, nobody's unified. You know, if you got nothing to eat, there's nothing to be unified about. You can't be fed on unity.
love to dance. I don't know, just the spurt of energy that you get, just because the energy of the music just builds and builds, and you just feel like, you know, going balls out, you know. And that's why I did it.
Some people call it slamming, and some people call it pogoing, and some call it the skang. But I just call it dancing because that's normally what you're doing. Like this one, they just call this more or less a slam. It's just keep going in a circle, keep moving your arms and stuff, and just bouncing off people, pushing them away. Then you'll see people stepping out through the crowd like this, pushing people off them as they bounce into them. And then also, there's also people, you'll see them, they'll be doing the pogo. They're usually pretty close to the stage. And as you keep moving around in a circle like this, because that's the way the pit moves, is in a circle. People are jumping off stage, you push them away, and just try not to get out of that circle, because if you do, you get out of the beat. And that's where the energy's at, is in the beat. Just keeps going like this. Just keep moving around. And it doesn't matter if you fall down or not, because your buddy's going to be there to pick you up, or someone's going to pick you up. Get everything?
Well, the slam dance is just a real aggressive type of dance. It's almost like, you know, something you would see in a football game. But the people that are doing it, they're all basically friends. They know each other. So nobody really, very seldom gets hurt. It looks very violent, very rough, but, you know, everybody just bounces off of each other, rolls around. They just have a good time.
You can get hurt. You can if you're a girl. So from a girl's point of view, I don't think that slamming is advisable, or I don't even think it's. I think it's pretty stupid. But it's a good thing. It's a good way to get your aggressions out if you're a guy, because you can go out there and guys can usually handle it.
I used to slam dance. I used to be the only girl out there slam dancing, and I got my leg broken.
America is built around the whole idea of the John Wayne ethic of us versus them. Let's beat the shit out of the other guy before he beats the shit out of you. And really, when you look at it, that the people that are criticizing the punks for slamming are these macho Americans, fat, overage, middle-aged Americans sitting in their armchairs watching other people beat the shit out of each other on TV every Sunday afternoon. But when it comes down to some people all at once having a good time with their friends, just where there's no competition, it's just everyone having a good time. They call it random chaos or very violent, when that's not what it is at all.
Okay, well, we come out here on weekends and practice stage dives, and because sometimes if you're at a gig, you can get hurt if the crowd splits, or you mostly try to land on your feet or towards your feet or your butt, so you don't really crack your head open when you hit the ground.
When there's no gigs happening, we just go here and just let our aggression because of school and parents and everyone. Mm-hmm. It's just something to do.
If you fall, or when you're slamming, if you fall down, everyone stops and they help you. They pick you up, they make sure everything's okay. And if you're hurt, they're going to help you out.
Well, sometimes you try to land, not feet first in the people, because I've landed feet first in somebody's head and got beat up for it, and it wasn't too much fun. So, you just practice out here and try to land sort of like at an angle where they can at least slow you down before you hit the ground, or catch you or whatever. Just so you don't get hurt and don't hurt other people.
Some kids say that when they're out dancing at a punk show that it's not violent, but that's really a joke, because it is violent. The whole nature of the dance is violent, the way kids swinging around. It just looks like they're beating each other up. The thing is it's not a malicious violence. It's not negative. They're not out there to hurt each other. They're out there getting their aggressions out. I mean, they got a lot of pent-up angers and hates and frustrations, and they're like a lot of things about the world that piss them off, and it's just a release, an energy release.
We'll unscrew this plug right here.
That one?
Yeah, right there. And we'll fill the gearing box fluid so we don't get the jaw wobbles again.
No more jaw wobbles.
It's like not it's not in tune. Like. And then just, okay, this is how the chorus can be like, you know, from A, C, to G, to I think that would be more melodic. Well, try. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, and vocals.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so remember that change? G.
Follow you.
Okay. Then start it.
Hang on there.
Leaving for LA or just catching a bus out. I mean, the bus broke, you know, the tour bus broke down here, and I'm not going to be wandering the streets of Detroit just for, I've lived here before. I mean, it's dangerous. I'm not into it. We're cut now. That's it.
What did the other guys think?
Oh, they're bummed. I mean, a lot of them, I think, like Brent wants to go too, but the band's like holding him back. He's got like the loyalty to the band thing, but everybody's pretty much pissed off and wants to go home. I think they're just like holding on to something that's like gonna fuck up pretty soon anyway. I don't feel guilty for leaving because everybody wants to leave. Everybody's tired of it. I mean, 11 guys in a bus is just like, it's cabin fever. Nobody's like, was prepared for that, dealing with everybody else's personality and stuff. And I just happen to have like a way to get home.
People say that punks are rebels without a cause, but that's not true. I mean, we have plenty of things to fight for. I mean, kids in the 60s, they made people aware of the problems, and they had a war to fight against. We don't have a war, but those problems are still around. They didn't find any solutions for them. I mean, they still exist. It's hard these days for kids to have anything to believe in. I mean, the traditional things we were brought up with, the government, the family system, the American dream, the whole religion thing that's so important to our society, they just don't work anymore. And it's all falling down around us. We can see it every day. It's just nothing you can believe in. We live in a government right now, we're under an administration that's trying to regress, go back to a golden age. It doesn't exist, and they sincerely believe we could have a nuclear war, and that's a really scary thing, to grow up thinking that these people are any day are just going to blow us all up. and the whole family system that we were brought up on, the American dream that our parents realized of going to school and getting a good job and getting married, and that would make you happy, but that didn't make them happy. Most of our parents are getting divorced. Most of the punks come from broken homes, and they look at their parents and they say, well, if that's the way they turn out, I don't want to turn out like that. I mean, it's not going to make us happy if it didn't make them happy. And the religious values that we were brought up in, I mean, we live in what people term a sinful society these days. Those religious values that we were brought up in, they just don't exist. Most of us look at ourselves as individuals, and as far as following some sort of dogmatic religious values or code, we just won't do that anymore.
How many times has someone come to you and said, friend, what you're doing to yourself is wrong? The way you're living is not right. You need to turn around. Has anyone ever said that to you? And what was your reaction? Did you just go ahead right on and do whatever you want to do? Or did you listen when people tried to tell you that you're making a mistake? You know, the devil will get you to go to any extreme. The devil loves extremes. He'd like for you to be somewhere cutting yourself, deforming yourself, and abusing your body somehow, some way. That's one of the devil's tricks today.
What we're trying to achieve here is we've opened our house up to anyone that wants to change, that wants to find Christ, that wants to get off the streets, that wants to definitely get an improvement in their lives, get their lives on the right track. We allow kids to stay here, we give them food, we do as much as we can. Everyone that comes here has been from a divorced family. That has been the major problem that we've seen, is the family has fallen apart in these kids. They come here and they have nothing. They have no place to live, no money, no food. We can't turn them out.
Back to the basic question, if you're a punk rocker, yes, you can get saved. But I think very definitely after you are truly born again, you'll hear that still small voice begin to talk to you about particular things in your life that would be displeasing to God. But as far as the punk rock music, I'm not really that familiar with it. My own opinion would be that it does not bring God much glory.
We were both part of the punk scene. We both found Jesus Christ, who changed our lives drastically, where you had a monster and an alcoholic, or both of the same.
Yes,
and we both, he really helped us. He's played a major part in both of our lives.
Parents are too busy seeking their own pleasures, not really rearing the child in the ways of the Lord. When you don't rear a child in the ways of the Lord, he's going to wander. He's going to try and find the truth, especially when parents don't have it.
One of the, I think, the presets of punk is that you don't accept morality just as a code of rules for no reason without thinking about it. Is that morals and institutions, stuff like that, should be questioned just like everything else should be, and that organized religion doesn't go along with that. Accepting what some preacher says just because he's a preacher and claims does something in the name of God is really stupid. And it's the preachers and the Reagans and people like that who end up killing millions of people in the name of us versus them, or in the name of some religion or their country or their flag or whatever. And that punks, I can't imagine a punk accepting what Jerry Falwell says or some other asshole preacher.
We can say bad things about the church and everything like that, but it's just another crutch. Like some kids drink, some kids take pills, some kids go to church.
Rollin', 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 keep the bus a rollin'. 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 Rollin', rollin',
That's all they know.
distributors not turning, man. I mean, I don't, what the fuck, man? I didn't hear it do anything.
It's the same thing it did like...
I didn't even fucking hear nothing, man. I was sitting right there. I was right behind you, man. How the fuck did that happen?
Wow, things are tough all over. Oh, where's the telephone? I'm gonna call Giovanna up. Fuck you then, you sleep outside, dick. We're at Constitution and 12th, right around the corner from the Washington Monument.
Yeah, this is a one big ugly yellow bus. I think we better buy ourselves a brand new Mack truck.
18-wheeler.
What? Fucking 18-wheeler rolling down the highway. Fucking video games and... It's a good thing we're a mobile society.
And they already went out and bought hamburger meat, rolls. They got beer from the basement, a couple cases. So you, me, and Brent are gonna style.
Shine the rest of the rats in the sinking ship.
Well, I'm not shining them. I got them a place to stay at least.
When are they gonna come pick us up? Like, bring the station wagon.
Well, just bring a car for 3.
Everybody to their own life. When the times get hard, the fucking people get moving.
Mike Brenson, our roadie extraordinaire, has just called up a girlfriend of his here in Washington and made arrangements for him and 2 other people to go stay at her house. So him and Brent and Dennis are going to go stay there, and we're kind of stuck. And so we're going to get the bus towed and try and find a place to get it fixed. We don't really have anywhere to stay, so I guess we'll call our friends over at the Discord house. And that's where Minor Threat, one of the biggest bands out in the East Coast, lives. They're kind of responsible for starting the straight edge movement, which is pretty much an anti-drug, anti-drink, anti-one-night stand movement that's gained a lot of notoriety around the country. And I think it's a pretty neat thing. I don't think I agree with all of it, but I respect them for it.
People in our age group used to sit around, get fucked up, throw bottles, drive fast and whatever, and be ruckus and be rowdy and all that shit. And that was 5 years ago. And when I became a punk, my main fight was against the people that were around me, the kids, my friends, the people I saw, and I said, God, I don't want to be like these people, man, because I didn't feel like I fit in at all with them.
Yeah,
so we said,
found an alternative.
Yeah, we found an alternative, and now a lot of people, what would punks be doing now? Sitting around, getting fucked up, and being rowdy. That's what I don't want to be. That, I want to beat that, man, and I know that we can. The merchants of Georgetown want nothing more than punks to do than to smash out windows, scrape down the walls, drink in the streets, and beat up people. And the reason we fucked them so good is that we went to Georgetown and we're honest as shit. We never steal. We fucking go to the store, we pay our money, we're polite, thank you very much. We're just totally nice. And best of all, we're fucking got our heads shaved, we're like punk rockers, and we're totally going against what they want. I've always been straight, most part. I've never smoked dope in my life, and then I realized, because I was sort of an observer of all my friends and how fucked up they were getting, and how stupid they were acting, I kind of, deep hate for it came in. Straight edge is not like, it's not a set of rules. Straight edge is just...
It's not above. It's not
Yeah, it's not saying I'm better. It's basically saying I got my head straight, I've got my shit together, and that's why I've got the advantage on you. As far as people emulating me, or not emulating, but just because I don't drink or because I feel like it's a set of rules, I could just try to say to myself, well, at least it's like not, at least it's not a bad set of rules. At least it's like not just like, at least I'm not saying, you know, shoot heroin.
We're playing Baltimore, and with all the excitement, all the action on stage, or you know, the sling got busted, a wire got pulled, a microphone got broken, I don't know, but the PA people freaked out, took all the microphones back, just started tearing the whole set down, shut the whole PA down, which left us without a PA. But actually, I think it made the show like real great because without the PA, everyone sang, and I didn't have the microphone. Sort of like the big barrier thing was gone. The microphone was gone. In most cases, maybe that would stop the show, but lucky for us, most of the kids know our songs. It actually made the show a whole lot better because they were all singing, and just like it was like one great like chorus.
To witness the forbidden breakage of the timing gears that's plagued us in 3 fucking states across the United States so far, for what reasons unknown to man or monk. And there it is, as I hypothesized. Look at them, there they are, all broken bastards. That's not bad, though. That one, we don't have to drain the oil on this one.
Well, the Distortion started when we first broke down and we went up to Detroit. 2 of our roadies split home. And ever since then, things haven't been going as well as we'd have liked. You know, things are working out pretty well in the shows, but some of the guys just don't think that things are working out and are ready to desert and fly back to L.A.
Why do things seem so bad that we've stayed here for 3 nice days and had a good time? Because we finally realized what it's like to be a human being again. We haven't been humans on that bus. We wake up stinky and sweaty and sticky every morning. We don't eat. It's like being in a goddamn cattle car.
You know? And I seriously did lose like 6 pounds, and I've just, I mean, that bothers me because I can't afford to lose 6 pounds.
It's like we're getting punished for something on this tour. Like we did something wrong before we left, and now this is our punishment.
Those 3 going off to the house, you know, it was a nice house, and I'm glad for them there, but it just kind of broke up the whole unity of us being on the bus. We stuck together this long, and as soon as it broke up like that, things started falling apart.
This tour has brought out the worst in everyone. Plus, it has kept Michael pretty much constantly drunk because he's always had money or someone fluent in Bruce, which is not good because Michael drinks excessively. You know, he drinks till he falls down.
I can get as drunk as I want and still play them. I've been playing half these songs for 3 years. I know them like the fucking, I know these songs like my mother.
It's never us, it's just Sean Stern, period. Sean Stern tells us. Sean Stern does this. Sean Stern calls them. Sean Stern doesn't pay us. It's not like we all have a hand in the kitty, because we don't have shit to say about it. Just sit on the bus and wait for the next major catastrophe.
It's not my responsibility to give them pep talks and be their camp counselor. This isn't camp. This isn't a guaranteed fun, and when the fun stops, then we're going to take care of them. You know, they have to understand and use their minds that if things fuck up. If the bus breaks down, then the money's got to go for the bus, because the bus is the most important thing to keep the tour going. And if we have to cut people's money down to $5, we have to cut people's money down to $5. That's all there is to it. Everybody's in the same boat, and if they can't make it, then they can't.
Well, we've been here in Washington for about 4 or 5 days now. We've been staying here at Discord House. I don't know what Mike and Brent and Dennis, if they're going to come back or what. The bus hasn't been fixed yet, so we've just been staying here trying to keep ourselves occupied. Modern Threat's been really cool, really hospitable. They've put us up and been really nice. We heard a lot about Washington scene before we came here, and it's like really lived up to its expectations, if not more. I'd probably say that Washington and the Baltimore area have the biggest scene in the country outside of LA, and it's really energetic. It's a lot of fun. The kids are really nice. Everybody's been really supportive of what we're doing. We've been meeting a lot of really interesting people.
I think that people should sculpt themselves in a way that expresses what they feel, and that's why I did my hair this way, and that's why I do my face this way, because out of the misery I felt like death, and that's probably closest to what I look like, is death. I think a lot of people find it repellent. I think a lot of people find it sexy and attractive, because they're going home to the same old thing every day, and if they see an interesting sculpted woman, I think that's one of their fantasies is an interesting person to be with occasionally, besides the same old wife that they go home to every day. Sometimes I look and I'll see people that I used to know, or that I've known, and I'll be like, Christ, man, when this person comes back from wherever they are, they're gonna freak and say, what the fuck did she do to herself? Like my ma. She's like, thinks I'm really beautiful and smart and everything, and she thinks I'm just wasting it, and that she thinks that everybody laughs at me, and that really bums her out, so we don't go out together or anything like that. She just thinks, that I should wear eyes-odd shirts and try to fit in, but, it just doesn't work. My mother's shrink won't let her see me because he thinks it's real destructive to her, even though he thinks I should do what I want. I'm 23, I should be able to do whatever I want. I don't go see her because it upsets her. I was 13 and 12, and I was going away for days and days, and my parents weren't real fond of that. I was addicted to Seconal and Valium, and I was living in my closet for a while. A long while, and I was always cutting myself up, bashing things into my head. My stepfather beat the shit out of me all the time, so I felt like I should punish myself too. And so they kicked me out of school for being downed out all the time, passing out in class and stuff. So then the shrink said that I should be put away, and I was put away for close to 2 years. And even after I came out of it, I was a total force. I just always imagined myself alone as an old woman. I could just see myself in my rocking chair with my grandchildren telling me bizarre stories about my life, because little kids love old people that have interesting stories. I just want to have a family. I don't have kids, 2 or 3. And help them be people that understand other people and tolerate everyone, or at least try and understand everyone's point of view.
I guess they left. Brent, all Social Distortion. Yeah, all of them. Brent, Dennis, and Derek.
I thought there was more strength in the band. I thought we were like one group, like stick together to the end.
They just think they can make more money back in LA, so they don't see why it's worth their while to be all over America promoting the band when they can make more money playing a show in Los Angeles. So they all want to go back there where the money is.
But things start to look a little brighter, man. I'm gonna start looking for new members. And I will keep the same name. And I will keep the same songs.
Everything's kind of faded to black on the tour, so I might as well do my hair black too. Kind of a little reflection of the way things have gone and the way I feel right now. So I'm kind of depressed. We've been here a week. I've been getting harassed a lot. I'm getting in a lot of trouble, sort of. Everyone's just kind of down because the tour's going so bad, so people crack under pressure. We'll limp on home in decent fashion. I think we've only got 2 shows left or so.
Would you call it a waste of time?
Fuck, no way. Now when I get home, diet blonde again and go back to the beach. Silence.
Well, looks like I just got the song finished. I've been working on this in the past month. Called Another State of Mind. I wrote it like about the tour, about things I thought about on the tour, some of the things that happened, experiences that we've gone through. First verse says, I'm in another state of mind. I wish I could be there right next to her. This road leads to this, and this one leads to that. Her voice sends shivers down my spine. The chorus says, these scars in my flesh, I'm bruised and I'm bloody. Only she knows the pain that I've been through. I talk to her 1,000 miles away. There's tears in her eyes. If I make it back, I'm going home to her. And then that's what I've got so far. Another state of mind. I wish that I could be there right next to her. If this road leads to this, and this road leads to that, her voice turns shivers down my spine. These scars in my flesh, I'm bruised and I'm bloody. Only she knows the pain that I've been through. Talk to her 1,000 miles away, there's tears in her eyes. I make it back, going home to her. The rest of the band is gone. Our band can't finish the tour. So all I'd be stinking around for is roading for Youth Brigade. And I'd probably be getting in the way more than I would be helping. So just figured I'd go home. I had a great time. It was fun. It was the best summer I ever had.
The king.
All right, ma'am. Take care. Don't badmouth myself. Don't badmouth Hey, it's fun being broke down. Come back now.
We're going home. Tonight was the last gig. The bus doesn't seem like it can make it home, so we're going to leave it here. Some friends of ours, and we're all going home. And my loving brothers are flying home, luxury class. We're leaving the bus here because we don't want to get broken down in the middle of the desert somewhere. So we'll come back for it. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Okay, we're going in the video truck right now. The one that's been following us around from LA this whole time.
Oh, my hand. Hey, Mom, 30 hours, right like this. You see it live on television, Mom. Just like this, 30 long hours.
Leave him here.
Climb in, Mom. Get to your spot for the next 2 days.
LA, next stop, see you later.
Well, we finally made it home.
Boy, does it smell in here.
There were 11 of us when we started out, now there's only 4. We've gone 10,000 miles, we're a few $1,000s in the hole. We're a little bit skinnier. I'd say that we're not as good friends as we used to be, at least not right at the moment. We know each other a little bit better. You might think that this is a dismal failure, and you might be right to a certain extent. Monetarily, it is a dismal failure, but that's not what we set out to do. We didn't set out to make money. I think we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish pretty much, and that's what's important to me. Was it worth it?
So nice.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. I mean, there are times when you wake up and things look like they were falling apart. You just wanted to go home and forget the whole thing. It was a real pain. But then there are the times when you pull into a town and you don't know anybody, and you've only talked to somebody on the phone or something. They're putting you up in their house, like kids at the Manor in Calgary, kids in Winnipeg, or kids at the Discord house in Washington. It's just like, there's these punks thousands of miles from where you live. You don't know them, you've separated by a lifetime, and you can sit up with these kids, some kid, and all night long, drinking or whatever, and talking to them, and it's like you share all these things with these kids. And it makes you feel good. It makes you have some hope in the world, because these kids are the future, and this is what's going to make the world go on existing despite all the problems we have. Because if you're not the only one who feels this way, if there are other people, then you know that there's some hope for the world. And if I had to go back and do it all over again, I would, definitely.